Hey ladies, I'm Best Cat 8 and welcome back to my channel. I am recording from my vehicle because I had to run some errands. It's a beautiful day in California. I know that we have the virus, the COVID still going around, and it's real serious. So my husband, he got me this P100 mask, this monster of a mask, but it's gonna keep me safe, so I will be wearing this contraption while I'm out today. And yeah, so I'm in my car. I have my Ribbon Crunch Starbucks to keep me cool, and you might hear my AC in the background because it is warm outside. Yeah, so I had to run some errands. I needed to go get my jewelry fixed, and they're gonna take about an hour. So I was like, hey, why don't I record a video? So anyway, today I wanted to talk about why I like to encourage women, why that is a passion and something that is on my heart to do, and why therapists did not work for me. Personal private therapists didn't work for me. My experience was not great. So let's get started. Okay, so years ago, I felt like I needed to go to therapy. And so I went to a place that was close to home, and they kind of assigned me a therapist, and we got started. They did whatever therapists do, ask you all the questions and try to get caught up on whatever, you know, your issues or your troubles are, and sit and talk to you about what it is you feel like you need to discuss. So we did that for about 2 weeks, and 2 weeks into it, he said to me that he was going to be leaving. So he was not going to, he was no longer going to be there, and so he would not be my therapist. So I was kind of like, oh, great. Okay, so there's nothing I can do about it. They're going to pass me on to someone else. So that was strike number one. They passed me on to a new therapist, and I was a little hesitant about doing it because I had already gotten started talking to this individual about my life, and you know, my concerns with myself, are, you know, whatever it is that I felt like I needed to discuss. I was talking to a complete stranger about it, trusting in that individual that they would be able to help me, because that's what a counselor is supposed to be for, and, you know, to work through some things. And now I'm going to have to start all over and go speak to another individual. And so that, you know, it was kind of an issue for me, but I felt like at that time it was important for me to be there. So I decided to go ahead and try another counselor. So they assigned me a new counselor. Now this time was a lady. And so I came in to meet her, and the very first day she introduced herself. And she said to me, I'm not here to be your friend. And for me, it was kind of weird because I wasn't looking for a friend. That was not what I was there for. So it did take me back, but I kind of thought to myself, like, damn, if a person was depressed, or feeling down and lonely and was looking for a person to confide in that would be their friend, they would probably wanted to commit after, you know, talking to her, and then her being like, I'm not here to be your friend. Like, okay, lady, that's a great way to start off a counseling session. So I'm like, oh, great. So that was strike two. So I go ahead and I start talking to her, but hesitantly, because I didn't feel very comfortable with her, and so I didn't go too deep. I did do the session, but like I said, I wasn't comfortable with doing it, and so I never went back to her again because of that. I just thought like that was the worst thing you could do or say to an individual. I did try another counselor, the third counselor, and I think it had to be maybe about 2 weeks into it, and I realized, like, hey, you are coming up with these answers yourself, They are talking to you. You are sharing information with them, but they are not giving you answers. They're not giving you solutions. I realized that I was actually talking to them, and I was talking out loud to the counselor, but I was coming up with the solutions to my problems myself. So I decided that I don't need a counselor to do that. I can do it myself. I don't need to go and pay somebody money to sit and have them analyze me and share all of my issues. And the worst part about it is that I got started talking to one person, and then I had to start all over again talking to another person, and then a third person. So it's like having a wound, and you keep ripping the damn Band-Aid off or ripping the scab off. It's never gonna heal. And for me, I'm the type of person where I want to deal with the issue, hit it head on, find the solution, and move on. I don't want to keep living in the past. But the way that it was going, I kept repeating myself and taking myself back to the issue and trying to, get their solution or their input on it. And then I'd go to another counselor and I'd start all over again. And I was like, oh my God, this is not working for me. So I stopped going to counseling. The experience didn't go well for me at all. The therapist, none of them helped me. I felt like I helped myself. And I think that is very important. I'm not saying that people should not go to therapy, because I do believe every individual has to choose for themselves what works. Because if you need some type of mental help, then you should go get it. You might have to find out. You might have to try it to see if it works for you. But my experience wasn't great at all. So I realized that it was me and I was the solution to my problems. And so I decided that I would work things out myself. And I did. And I'm happy that I did. But at the same time, for a long time, I always thought like, wow, it would be great to mentor or help to inspire and encourage young ladies, because there's so many things in life that I wish I would have known early on, that I feel like would have made a huge difference for me, or even it would have just having the information that I wasn't privy to that would give me an opportunity to make maybe some different choices. And so I don't think you can ever have too much information. So there's been things that have been shared with me by other women, like strangers have come up to me and shared their stories. And I've, my mom, and I've got aunts and other ladies that are in my life, and I know their stories and some troubles that they may have had. I know that there's a large number of women out there that sometimes just want somebody to talk to and share with, and somebody to maybe understand them. And I've been given information and advice by all women. I'm not saying all advice is good advice, but I have been given some information by women that made me go, oh, okay, like I didn't know that, because I just didn't get that information for whatever reason, that whatever was shared hadn't been shared before. And I was like, whoa, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know something, you don't think to ask it because you don't know. So when things were shared with me, and I realized that, wow, there's still a lot of stuff that I am not aware of and that I would like to know. And now I've got my own 2 daughters. I don't want to leave them feeling that way. So I am here to share whatever information I have that would benefit another young lady or another woman, that maybe they will get aha moments as well, and it will give them some sort of inspiration. And also my daughters, we do share with each other quite a bit, but they're I don't think you can ever have enough information. And I'm the type of person that will say things multiple times, in multiple ways, just to make sure that you got it. And my daughters are always like, Mom, you said that already. And I'm like, I just want to make sure you understand. Maybe I don't want to leave them feeling like I didn't tell them something because, or I didn't make them understand. I remember one time my mom and I had a conversation, and she told me something, and later on, much later, it came up again, and I said, oh yeah, you told me, but you didn't make me understand. So I tried to speak to my girls in a way to make sure that they understand. So many women are still dealing with self-esteem issues, and they need somebody to encourage them, because obviously either someone hasn't taken the time to encourage them, or someone has taken the time to discourage them. So either way, I feel good about myself. I love me, and I always love me first. I have a husband and I have children and I love them, but I am number one always, because if I don't take care of myself first, there is no way I'm going to be able to take care of my husband and my children. And I always recommend that you guys put yourself first, because that will make you the best you, and you can be the better person for them should they need you. It's kind of like the scenario on the airplane when they say, put your mask on first, and then you can go and help another person, whether that be your child or another passenger. But if you don't save yourself first, if you don't take care of yourself first, mentally and physically, you will not be able to save the next person. You will die trying to save somebody else if you don't take care of you first. There is a time when my life will cease to exist, but I would like to leave my mark on the world by leaving information that I feel like benefited me as a woman and as a young lady growing up, the things that I wish I would have known. And I'm just excited because like I said, therapists did not work for me, and so my book that I'm writing, it's got some good information in it. I believe it's going to inspire and educate, and there's some things in there that I think people will read it and probably be really shocked to hear, surprised to know. But I've had a lot of experiences in my short 40 years of life, and but they have been very important and to me, and so I feel like if they're important to me, then they should be important enough for me to share with someone else, because either I lived it and I've experienced it myself, or I learned it from another woman and she felt like it was important enough to share with me, or for some reason the universe felt like it was important enough for me to be aware of that experience, and that was another way for me to learn from it. And so that is what my book is basically about. Like I said, counseling works for some people. That's awesome if it does, but there's other ways to get information and educate yourself. And so I thought that I would take the opportunity upon myself, since we have this downtime with our quarantine, and I could share some very important information that I thought would benefit some other ladies. So you guys, it'll be coming out soon. We're in the end stages. It's being edited right now, so hopefully it'll be something that you guys will be picking up and taking a read, and I'm excited to share it. Remember, it is what we say it is. So until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah. Stay safe out there.